So I'm here at CarMax today because they just released their earnings and they were not good. Sales were down. This 2021 RAV4 is $40,000. And that is more expensive than you can get a brand new one for. So after CarMax reported these earnings, the stock market didn't like it for obvious reasons, and their stock sold off by about 10%. All right, so check this out. This is their lot, and it is absolutely slam-packed. CarMax is the largest used car dealer in the US, and here is your line of pre-repos. I think it's very important for us to keep up with how CarMax is doing to really judge the health of the used car market, because really, as the used car market goes, I feel like the economy will as well. It's got 47,000 miles, and the price is, and just to give you the actual numbers, their retail sales were down 7.4% and their wholesale sales were down 11%. So CarMax actually stated that a lot of their problems were arising from affordability challenges. So yeah, there are going to be affordability challenges when you're selling used vehicles for more expensive than a new one is. This is almost laughable, right? This is so obvious. Their prices are too high. That's all they're saying. And the thing about it is interest rates are high right now. Inflation is too high. Monthly payments are too high. Yes, CarMax, we know this. And it's even a bigger problem when you're selling cars that are 2 or 3 years old for the same price that you can buy a brand new one for. All right, 2021 Toyota RAV4 XLE Premium. Price here is $39,998. It's got 5,000 miles, so no miles on it, but I wanted to pull up, this is a brand new Toyota, same trim level, XLE Premium, $36,930, and you can buy the used one for $39,998 here. So in CarMax's earnings call, they actually outlined some of the risks, the challenges that they have to go through. They have to give this to their shareholders every quarter. So I want to read exactly what it was. The risk was there are challenges associated with managing a large pool of fast depreciating assets. What does that mean? That means they have a bunch of cars. They know that they're fastly going to go down in value, and that's their whole business. That's a risk. That's a big risk right now. All right, I have not been able to find a Sienna anywhere, and here's one right here. It's a 2020 model. It's the hybrid edition, XLE. It's got 31,000 miles, and price for that here is $44,998. But it's here, it exists. I'm definitely not a minivan person, but is that not the meanest front end on a minivan that you've ever seen? I like the design on it. It's cool. CarMax also cited that tightening lending practices were also putting a big constraint on the industry. Fewer customers can actually get approved for loans to come and buy these cars. Even CarMax, they actually hold a lot of their notes. They're having to tighten up in this environment because there are more people that are going to default because economic times are tougher. So as they tighten up, the fewer vehicles that they can actually sell because the fewer loans they can actually write. And it never fails. Every time I come to CarMax, they have a Maverick. Ford never has a Maverick. CarMax always has a Maverick. This one's a 2023 XL. Price is $33,998, and it's only got 1,000 miles. It's only got 1,000 miles. Only 1,000 miles. So they literally drove it here from the Ford dealership and then parked it. All right, so the other risk that they outlined is the economic sensitivity associated with selling big ticket items. What does that mean? That means that they sell cars, they sell expensive things, and during a downturn in the economy, like we're going through right now, people don't want to buy these big ticket expensive things. And that's what their business is. That's a risk. Just want to go back to this Maverick real quick. I am a used car dealer, but I don't have the privilege of knowing like someone like a Ford dealership or a CarMax what they actually pay for their vehicles. But I do know that I've seen these in some fleet lots, and I'm actually able to see the prices of what they're selling on the fleet level. And I know this XL model of this Maverick, the ones that I've seen have been selling for like $26,000. Brand new. That one is pretty much brand new, but they're selling it for $34,000. So they're probably making quite a bit of money on that. One thing that they also said that I thought was interesting was that they were seeing a weakness in consumer confidence. Depending on who you talk to in this economy, you're either hear that the economy is booming or it's terrible, right? And what I really think we should listen to are the companies that are making the money in this economy, the companies that are moving product, and a company like CarMax is who I would listen to kind of gauge the health of the market. And right now they're saying it's weak. They're saying the consumer is weak. They're saying that the consumer confidence is very weak. And when the consumer confidence gets weak, people are scared. And when they're scared, they do not spend money, especially on cars. So I've actually never seen one of these, but this is cool. It's a Toyota RAV4 Prime, and we've got a sticker on it. The price of it, it's a 2022, mileage 13,000, and the price here is $52,998. Looks awesome. I don't know about that price, but it's very, very cool. So the amount of cars that CarMax has actually purchased has gone down by 15%. And CarMax gets cars, they get vehicles in two different ways. One, they buy them straight from consumers. Consumer comes in, sells them their car, the consumer doesn't buy another car. The second way is actually from trade-ins. Consumer comes to CarMax to buy a new vehicle, a new used vehicle, and they trade in their current vehicle to CarMax, and CarMax gives them a trade-in value on it. So we know that CarMax in the recent quarters, they've come out and said this, that they want to actually buy fewer vehicles, and they're showing that in the numbers right now because they're purchasing fewer vehicles. And really the reason why they want to buy fewer vehicles is because they know that the car industry is not doing well right now and it's on a downtrend. They know that cars that they're going to buy today, if they don't sell them in 30, 60 days, then the values of those cars is going to be significantly decreased from where the value is right now. So this is a big reason why CarMax doesn't want to buy any vehicles right now, because they know that we're heading into a bad time. They know that the car market is not good right now. They know that the values of these used vehicles on the wholesale level and eventually on the retail level are actually going to get crushed in the near future. If they thought the car market was going to be booming for another 6 to 12 months, they would be trying to obtain and buy as many vehicles as possible right now, and they're just not doing that. They're trying to buy fewer vehicles. Just want you guys to look at this lot at CarMax here and notice two things. One, they are completely loaded. They don't have enough spots to fill the cars that they actually have here for sale. That's why you can see some that are facing I don't even know the word for it, this way versus this way. There you go. And two, show you, it is Saturday at 11:54, and I see two sets of customers down there. Okay, so here is a biggie. Their actual wholesale price per unit was down $1,300 or 12%. And all this is saying is that dealers are actually less willing to pay up for the vehicles that CarMax is sending to their auctions. And we're seeing this across the market. Wholesale prices across the market, whether you're looking at Manheim, you're looking at Odessa, you're looking at here at CarMax, all wholesale prices are going down because dealers can't pay what they had been paying for these used vehicles because they're not able to sell them. So I was actually able to talk to a CarMax employee recently, and he was saying that when consumers were coming in, they were getting loans through CarMax. CarMax holds a lot of their own notes, and they were coming to CarMax and able to buy a vehicle, and they would tell him that, you know what, I've been to a lot of other places and I wasn't able to get approved anywhere else. But here at CarMax, I was able to get a loan, I was able to get into this vehicle. And in the short term, that's actually a good thing because CarMax is able to turn sales. But in the long term, I think this is horrible. What that means is CarMax is actually writing loans to people that have been turned away from other lenders because they weren't qualified to actually get this loan. And the reason why this could be so bad for CarMax later on is because a lot of these subprime borrowers are actually going to default in the harder economic times. And I always like to check 4Runners whenever I see them. This one is a 2022 4Runner SR5, and it's got 36,000 miles. And the price on it is $40,000. So I know that I've looked at some brand new ones, and the prices on those are right around the mid 40s. So used one, 40 grand here, new ones around the mid 40s. We're already seeing this massive spike in delinquencies and in repos. And if CarMax is not tightening up at the same rate that all these other banks are tightening up, then they're going to be the ones that are stuck with a lot of these repos that they're not going to be able to get their money back out of. So I think this is actually a very scary thing for CarMax to be holding their own notes right now, because the environment that we're going into is not one that you want to be in the auto lending industry. So let's look at this GMC Denali. I like it. This is sweet. It's a 2021 GMC Yukon Denali. It's got 47,000 miles and the price is $69,998. So in my opinion, I think CarMax is actually in two terrible businesses right now. One, the used car business. We know that the used car prices are getting hammered, wholesale and retail, because people can't afford to pay what the prices are right now. And number two, the auto lending industry. We already know that there have been a lot of banks pull out of this industry. There have been a lot of banks that don't want to be in this space, and that's for good reason, because the economy is getting worse. Delinquencies are going to continue to rise, repos are going to continue to rise, and when this happens, the banks, the holders of the notes, the CarMax is actually going to take a lot of losses when they ultimately have to repo a lot of these vehicles. Okay, so I'll say one thing that I actually love about CarMax is that you can come here, you cannot be hassled by anybody, and all the cars are open. So you can, if there's something that you want to see, just the feel of it or whatever, look at, like this nice Denali. This is what I want for my birthday, baby. That's a message from my wife. But if you want to come and feel how something is and look in it and touch it or whatever, you can come here and just, except for that one. This one you can open, yeah. So most of them, they're open, so you can come try some stuff out. And now here is the big number for the retail consumer. CarMax's average selling price per unit has actually come down now $1,200. So for all of you down in the comments saying, well, I'm not seeing prices come down yet, this is just more proof for you, showing that yes, prices are coming down. Even a place like CarMax, who has stated in recent quarters that they want to keep their prices higher, they want to keep their margins higher, and they're not going to do these fire sales, they're not going to lower their prices. Well, now you know what they figured out? They actually have to lower their prices to be able to sell these cars. And everyone else in the auto industry is figuring out the same thing. You have to lower your prices right now if you want to move metal. CarMax has had to lower their prices. Prices across the industry are coming down. And no, they're not coming down as much as you want to, and no, they're not coming down as fast as you want them to. But the fact is, prices are going down. All right, so check this out. This is their lot, and it is absolutely slam packed. Now, to be fair, I did talk to somebody who works here, and they said this was a distributor store. So I think what that means is that they actually fill a lot of the needs of a lot of the stores around the area. So they're going to have more vehicles here normally than most of the other stores are going to have anyway, just to be fair. All right, so I hope they're a distributor store, because look at this. I can barely even walk right here. I actually can't walk through there, so we're not even going to try to go through that gap. We're going to go around. Oh, inside. So they do actually have some Teslas over here, but I can only find the price on one of them. It's a 2021 Model Y long range. It's got 24,000 miles, and the price on it's $46,000. I almost wonder if they don't put the prices on these Teslas because they're just waiting for Elon to do another price cut, and they'll have to drop their prices right after he does that. So whatever the new price is that he's going to charge for on the next price cuts, that's what they'll have to mark their used ones down to. So Teslas are kind of like lobster, where you're going to pay the market value, and whatever Elon's going to set the market at, that's what you're going to pay for it. I hope you guys catch this through the video at some point. If I can find it, I'll edit it into a segment, but I can't catch it. But I'm at CarMax, right? I'm in the middle of a big city, but right behind me there's some woods, and there's a rooster that keeps there he is. I hope you heard that. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. So I hope while I'm saying something really serious during this whole CarMax talk, that rooster just goes off in the background, and I hope someone else appreciates it other than me. I don't know if you can see this, but there's just like a worm that just attached itself to my hat, and it's right here swinging. Can you see it? It's weird. It was right in the middle of the last thing I just said, so that was very distracting. But I kept going, so I'm a trooper. It's all for you. So it's kind of funny. I'll show you what I'm doing. So see all this sun right here? It's not crazy hot, but it's hot enough not to be in the sun. I'm trying to have all my walks reset right in this little patch of shade. So if you see the same thing going off in the background, it's because I'm resetting like every 15 feet just to stay in the shade. Amount per unit sold. Nope. There are less dollars. Nope. To judge. Nope. CarMax. Nope. Nope. Used car market industry. Not used car market industry. What that rooster.